All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back in Tennessee. Happy hump day, Trump day. We did it, Joe. We made Kamala Indian again. We can set our clocks back to two genders again. And let me just say this right at the top here. The following is not suited for all advertisers. This is not going to be an E rating for everyone to watch this podcast. I know that there are some people out there that are immediately calling for unity. I hear your calls, and I've decided to send them all to voicemail for the next hour because we are going to have some fun. We are going to unburden ourselves from what has been. So welcome back to Candace. Happy Janet Jackson Day. That's what I want to say. Happy Janet Jackson Day. When you see a Janet Jackson, you better thank a Janet Jackson. You better thank a Janet Jackson. I mean, is it weird that I'm also kind of partly sad a little bit, like just a tiny bit sad? I said to my team, where do we go from here? Who are we? Who am I? I don't know who I am. 42 million downloads across 24 episodes of the Kamala Chronicles. That is not a joke. 42 million downloads we had. You guys were listening, you were sharing, and I just don't know how I'm going to exist outside of just like, you know, wanting to know who she is and getting to the bottom of it. And suddenly her genealogy is completely irrelevant. I'm sad. I hope Trump makes her an assistant or something so I can still keep looking into it. Look, we already know what the media talking points are going to be, what the media talking points are about her loss. It's because she's a woman. It's because she's a woman of color. And I just want to stop everybody right there. Okay? Because what did America actually vote no to? Okay, well, we voted no to Hollywood. Voted no to race baiting. We voted no to sex baiting. We voted no to the my body, my choice, bizarre public satanic ritual that it became of women pretending that the only thing that we have ever cared about, the only thing that has ever mattered has been our right to murder our own offspring. I mean, that got weird. And I say this as somebody who's actually quite harsh on conservatives on the topic of pro-choice versus pro-life because, look, there's a ton of women who, like me when I was pro-choice, you grow up in high school and you learn that it's a clump of cells, right? And so you think it's the science that you're learning. You trust the science and they tell you it's the responsible thing to do. And I don't think the average woman is doing this because they like get off on murder. You know what I mean? But Democrats completely moved away from the concept of pro-choice. I mean, this campaign, make no mistake, it was pro-death. Pro-death. They were just like, no, we absolutely have to be able to abort our children in the womb. They were celebrating that. And beyond that, what did they run on? What was the platform? It really was just abortion and black men needing to behave like black men because Obama came down. I guess he left Martha's Vineyard and had to remind the brothers about what you have to be doing. And the brothers just weren't here for it. So yes, it is true. Kamala has formally conceded the race about an hour ago. And I will say, I thought that it was a well-written speech by whoever wrote that speech, because obviously it's some invisible speechwriter. It was not written by Kamala, but she delivered it well because what Kamala is good at is just reading a teleprompter. It's the one thing that Joe Biden was actually very bad at. They should have just, swapped a little bit there. Kamala is good at reading the prompter and not having to think. And she failed when she had to think, when people were asking her questions. She doesn't have her own thoughts. She can do nothing but deliver somebody else's thoughts. And so I thought, relative to everything she's done this election cycle with trying to speak and present her own thoughts, this was actually a pretty good concession speech. I am going to show you this part of it. Take a listen.
And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history. True of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service. at you. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
Okay, gay, fake, and gay, but fine, acceptable. I'm happy for her to come out and do her thing, to say something to her supporters who are existing under some delusion that Kamala ran some great campaign and there's been this great injustice that's happened because she didn't win the election. I want to be very clear here. Kamala ran a terrible campaign. In fact, Kamala didn't even run a campaign. The true story here, the true story of this election and the story of her life is it's been one long coronation for Kamala Harris, okay? She slept with the right person, Willie Brown, and then she got on the right boards and got the right jobs when she was in San Francisco. Again, that's not coming from me. It's not me being petty. You can go back and you can read their articles. That is just the reality of what San Francisco was writing about. All the journalists were basically saying, who is this woman? Why is she being allowed to be a part of any political process when all she's done is slept with a powerful man? Okay. And then what happened here is her party staged a coup. That's what happened this year. Her party staged a coup against an ailing elderly man. Credit to Hillary Clinton, by the way. I don't even know how she kept it within herself to pretend to support Kamala, because Hillary Clinton, for better or worse, she actually did run. She ran a campaign and she lost. And yes, she was arrogant and she never foresaw the possibility that she could lose. Hence this amazing tweet that we must always unearth that Hillary Clinton tweeted to herself before the election back in 2016 at 8:03 a.m. on October 26th. Hillary Clinton tweeted, "Happy birthday to this future president." So much happening here. Who even tweets a happy birthday to themselves beyond that, just being like, I'm going to be the president? Like, yes, she was arrogant. But as I said, she actually ran and she actually lost, and she was able to hold a conversation. She understood the policies. She had been obviously the first lady under Bill Clinton, and she had something to say. So you could see people rallied around, maybe this is going to be the candidate. Kamala didn't do any of that. She was coronated, and then she barely ran for just 107 days. Like, she actually says that in her concession speech. 107 days, we did this. Just 107 days, 3 months, that's it. It's utterly unheard of. And she looked tired. She looked annoyed that she was even being required to do anything for that long. She was lazy. She was even too lazy to just be herself. I mean, she plagiarized Barry Soetoro's playbook. It was the exact same game. She was like, oh, Obama did it. I'll just do it. I'm going to publish this fake book. Let me post up with my fake grandma. Here's me and my grandma barrel. And then things began to unravel. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest here, the only thing, the singular thing that was indeed unfair to Kamala Harris was that she came after Joe Biden's election in 2020. Because let me show you this chart. It's an amazing chart, right? So that's 2012 election. What you're seeing right here that's being represented on the y-axis is just votes in the millions. In 2012, in blue and Democrats, 65 million votes. In 2016, 65 million votes. Just now for Kamala Harris, 65 million votes 2024. Look at 2020. Just 80 million votes. It's never happened before. It's never happened before, but somehow the Democrats just increased their margins by 15 million votes. Not for Barack Obama. Not for Barack Obama. For Joe Biden. So we know what happened was they cheated in 2020, and I feel badly. It's unfair for her that the story is going to be that she somehow lost a ton of votes when in reality what happened in 2020 is that Joe Biden found a ton of votes in the form of mail-in ballots, and that's why we just were not accepting those election results. In my opinion, Trump actually won 3 times. So yeah, we did it. I'm proud of us. Today is our Super Bowl parade. We're allowed to laugh at the things that people are doing online. In fact, I would like to take this noble moment to show you this young woman on TikTok, because I think she speaks for really all liberals and celebrities today. Take a listen.
I'm sorry. No! Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
She just needs a doctor. I don't know what to say. That is just amazing. It's happening all over the internet. They are deeply upset that we did it. And in terms of the listeners on this show, what we accomplished here, no doubt, is that we made Kamala Indian again, which is why we are selling the hats on clubcandace.com. Made Kamala Indian again. We could not have done it without you guys. All right, let me tell you about Good Ranchers really quickly. Every year during Thanksgiving, there was a classic debate of is turkey or ham better? If you picked either, you'd be wrong, because the third and correct option is a free ham from Good Ranchers is the answer. During their Thanksgiving special, you can choose any box of their 100% American meat and wild-caught seafood and get a free 10-pound spiral-cut ham added to it for free. By shopping at Good Ranchers, you're directly supporting local farms and ranchers in the United States. Good Ranchers delivers high-quality, 100% American meat straight to your door so you can celebrate what matters most is Thanksgiving. Time with the people that you love. To claim your free Thanksgiving ham before they're gone, go to goodranchers.com, subscribe to any of their boxes of 100% American beef, chicken, pork, or wild-caught seafood, and use my code Candace at checkout. Be sure to order by November 19th for guaranteed delivery by Thanksgiving. If you're thankful for the farmers and the ranchers of this country, go to goodranchers.com. Remember to use code Candace to claim your free Thanksgiving ham. Goodranchers.com, American meat delivered. All right, guys, about last night. So I joined the boys over at the PBD podcast. I knew it was going to be a great night. I knew that Patrick Bet David was just going to I just knew he was going to have the biggest YouTube show, and he did. It was truly amazing. They absolutely crushed it. And here's what I will say. The best part of my evening, and I just will never forget this, was me being just the stars aligned, and I was given the opportunity to break it to Cenk from the Young Turks that Trump had won Pennsylvania, because that's what we were waiting for all night. I was like, if he wins Pennsylvania, it's over, it's over. And I was not going to sleep. I was not going to make the mistake of what I did in 2020 and fall asleep and wake up and find the election results dramatically transformed. And Cenk, in case you're not aware of him, you're not aware of the Young Turks, like my story with the Young Turks is just very weird. From the time I appeared on the scene, before I was even really well known, they just made consistent video after video after video of me basically saying that I'm not black because I don't vote Democrat. I mean, crazy stuff. And he's generally speaking a very angry man and intent on telling to people that Trump is Hitler. I've debated him on Piers Morgan. Trump is Hitler. He's awful. He's backwards. And the people that support him are this and that. And so to have this opportunity, because PBD has a very far-reaching audience and tons of friends, and Cenk, he counts amongst his friends left and right. It's a beautiful thing. Cenk dialed in and did not know whether or not Trump was going to win. And I got to deliver the news to him. So let's just run that back. I will run this clip back for the rest of my life. Take a listen to me telling Cenk that basically this election is over.
Jenny, is that him?
Cenk,
Just want to say this.
BRB, Cenk, because they just called Pennsylvania for Donald J. Trump.
There's one other end. You know what the other end is? Tom just told me they also called Alaska. Alaska. Tom is saying that's going to be done with. So at this point,
that's it, man.
Officially
That's
over?
it. Donald Trump's
It's
president.
over.
That's a wrap. It's over.
It's over. Wow.
It was amazing. And if you go back and you watch it, he had tears in his eyes. I really just don't think he expected this whatsoever. And as I said, we had 280,000 people watching PBD show. I'm going to show you actually just the rankings, because this is amazing to see this too. Last night really was the final FU to the mainstream media. Just a nail in the coffin. We hate you right back. I mean, and just the order of people. Do you guys have that chart of who was on YouTube and who was polling? If you guys don't have it, it's fine. But it was like PBD's podcast, and then behind it was the Associated Press, and behind that was ABC News. And we're asking this question of why. And the answer is it's because nobody believes or trusts the mainstream media anymore. So this really was a referendum last night to see the mainstream media in a crisis, trying to understand how this could happen. And it was building towards that. The momentum was building towards that, with Jeff Bezos doing something that was actually, I think, he exemplified tremendous humility to step down from his empire and say, what are we doing at the Washington Post? Why are we endorsing candidates like it matters? And why does it seem like we're now just writing articles to ourselves, like we're just elitists? And the message was firmly sent to the rest of the mainstream media who didn't believe him. Like, we won the Senate. The House is looking good as well. We might just sweep everything. And if you look at the exit polls, it is telling us a unique story about where America sits. And I'm going to show you some of this exit poll graph. You know, you see white men, 59% of them voted for Donald Trump. White women, which people were trashing white women and making it seem like white women were predominantly liberal. That proved to be wrong last night as well. 52% voted for Donald Trump. I mean, to look at the true story last night, black men, especially in Georgia, 20% now. 20% now. I don't think you understand how much of a gain this is. This is the Democrat Party is done. I mean, if black women match that energy, they're forever done. And we've always had trouble with black women. I don't know why they seem more attached to the narrative that the Democratic Party is going to save them. But black men really said no to Barack Obama, like Barry rolling up his sleeves, that inauthentic sleeve cuff roll, and lecturing them about what it means to be a black man, which is something that he's never lived his life as he was raised by white people in Hawaii and went to unbelievably expensive schools and dated white women. It's very strange that he thinks that he can do this and not get called out in this day and age. Latino men, look at that. Look at Latino men. 54% for Trump. And so this is not really telling a story about this racist Hitler man. You have Latino women at 37%. Unbelievable to see that. And honestly, I'm surprised it's not more than 37%. I have not come across Latino women that supports Kamala. So that really shocks me. And then you have all other. So you wonder, you look at that and you say, are they gonna be humble? Are they going to humble themselves? Are they going to come down from their high horses and look us in the face and say, look, we got this thing wrong? Well, apparently my husband says Brian Stelter of CNN has done that. I actually haven't read the article, but apparently he's written a piece to the same effect of Jeff Bezos' piece. But the majority of people in mainstream media are not doing that. They're just going to keep on going and keep on accusing and keep on name calling all Americans. Take a listen to this compilation of the corporate media just shedding tears.
I can't help but wonder if the American people have given up on democracy.
We cannot ignore there is still a lot of racism and gender bias in this country.
I wish I had better news for my daughter later this morning. I know Tim Miller and I were talking about this earlier, when she and so many others wake up to this news. I wish I could have called her and told her that the first woman president had just been elected. I wish that. I won't be able to do that.
There is a sort of Russian embrace of disinformation, a radical devaluing of truth over the last 9 to 10 years, and a complete ignorance on civics.
That message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
You're talking about the propaganda campaign and the playbook of Trump. This is not new. This is not surprising. This is directly out of Hitler's playbook. This is out of an autocrat playbook.
It's not the elite that's going to pay the price. It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare. And those people didn't deserve to be respected and held and talked to. Those are the people who are going to pay the price for whatever Donald Trump decides to do.
I just don't know how they can stand themselves. They're quite literally unbearable. Like, they're every single person they are insulting. White women, it's your fault for just being white and not doing what we told you to do. Like, it's not, we're not going to suffer. We're the elitists. You're going to suffer for not listening to us who are among the elite. Because if you had listened to us, we wouldn't be in this predicament. I just don't know how they can stand themselves when they say the same thing over and over again. He's Hitler. It's about racism. It's about sexism. It's about misogyny. This country's just not ready to elect a woman. No, we're just not ready to elect a weak woman. By the way, something that stood out to me is just that the only times we've ever seen throughout the election process people that are unwilling to give a concession speech, it has been women. It has been Democratic women. Hillary Clinton first, just saying to her supporters, sending somebody out. I think it might have been Podesta, and saying she's not coming out tonight after they're all crying on the floor. That was exceptional. It'll never be better than the night that Hillary Clinton lost, because they were just so convinced they were all going to win, and then they were crying and holding their stuffed animals. And the same thing with Kamala. Like, the women don't even have the strength to come out and do the proper thing, to look at your supporters and to say, thank you, and here is a vision I can tell you. Maybe it's because they can't go off the cuff. Hillary Clinton hadn't prepared a concession speech. Maybe Kamala Harris, we know, certainly can't speak off script. Maybe she similarly hadn't prepared a speech and wanted somebody to write it for her. But there's something that's fundamentally weak about that. Like, we have only seen women, in my view, that have displayed attributes of weakness, not like their leaders, just kind of like they're arrogant and they expect somebody to just come and place a tiara on their head. And so naturally, we know that what comes with this over and over again. And speaking of Brian Stelter, when they realize that people are getting around their narrative, like, why are people watching Candace Owens? Why are people watching Joe Rogan, independent media? Why are people doing that? They inevitably start making calls for censorship. And the number one show that I wanted to watch last night was The View. I did. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea. I had no idea what network they were on. I didn't know where to watch it, but I tweeted that I can't wait to watch The View. And I was not the only one. They were trending last night because conservatives were desperate to watch them have a meltdown. And they delivered on calls for censorship. Take a listen to what the ladies had to say today.
In Finland, kids in nursery school are learning to discern between fake news and real news. Yeah. They should be teaching that in this country. Yes. Teach children tolerance. Teach them to think critically.
Well, it would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
It's not going to get any better with Elon Musk now in the administration. I want to...
So these are the fascists. They're looking for fascists in everywhere, and they don't see that they're basically saying, what we need to do is regulate so nobody can ever hear any perspective other than ours. That's what they're saying. No one should be able to get to any other opinions except for ours. It is the job of the government. Oh, these women, they love democracy. No, they love a bureaucracy, okay? It is the job of the government to make it so that it is impossible for us to lose, because the only opinion that people will ever hear is ours. And people are out there clapping like seals. It's fascinating. They just cannot see themselves at all. They cannot see that they are not the party of liberty and the party of freedom. They are the party of oppression. They are the party of high gas. They are the party that has completely crushed our economy. They're the party of open borders, and people said no to it. And so what they're going to do is they're going to try to be more aggressive, which is why Trump needs to use his time in office to recognize that everything that he has to do must be to make it so that we are guarding our freedoms into the future. He cannot waste a single minute. I mean, day one, I want to see Edward Snowden pardoned. I want to see Julian Assange pardoned. I want Alex Jones to be the press secretary. Like, we deserve that. I feel like that's the right thing. Like, they took down InfoWars. How great would it be if Alex Jones every day just comes out and he wouldn't even have a binder. He would just be out there being Alex Jones, telling CNN to crawl under a rock. Like, that's what we deserve right now. We need that, okay? We just need a referendum on the elites and the deep states. And by the way, what is amazing is that their entire bit, again, they didn't really have a strategy other than to just keep calling Trump Hitler and to talk about how women are not going to be able to abort their children, to kill their offspring. But their entire bit also hinged upon trying to convince the world that among every other name, Trump was a criminal. He's Hitler. He's a threat to democracy. He is a person that needs to be behind bars. And it was them that quite literally utilized the Department of Justice, again, a tremendous abuse of power, because they love bureaucracy. It allows them to go after the people by using the government. They don't need a majority in that way. They just need a majority in the Department of Justice. That's the way that they view things now. They just need a majority in Congress to get the things that they want done. They don't need to worry about the will of the people. And we rejected that. We rejected the narrative that Trump was a threat. And now it seems like they've just instantly given up because it's been announced today, or at least over the last couple of hours, they're dropping all of those fake cases that are remaining against him because they realize, okay, this isn't actually working. And so we're just going to let go of these two federal cases. Take a listen to MSNBC speaking about that because they seem a little bit upset about it.
Yeah, Chris, it's not a surprise that these cases can't go forward when Donald Trump takes office. What's interesting here is that the DOJ is moving to end them even before he takes office, citing the long-standing DOJ policy that sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. And there was some thought that maybe Special Counsel Jack Smith was going to sprint through the finish line, was going to work up until the last day, force Trump to fire him, wait till a new attorney general was appointed. But that does not appear to be the thinking inside the department. The thinking is that these cases can't go forward. There's no reasonable prospect of getting to trial within the 3 months before Donald Trump takes office. These cases are mired in legal issues that would be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court had Donald Trump lost the election. So now that he's won the election, DOJ officials are thinking that, look, there's just no room to move in these cases. And so the sensible thing to do is to figure out a way to wind them down. And it may stem from Donald Trump's lawyers filing some kind of motion or making a request saying, in light of the DOJ policy, you need to drop these cases. Now, there are a few wrinkles here, one of which is that the classified documents case includes 2 other defendants who are not subject to that policy. And it's been dismissed, obviously, but that dismissal has been appealed. And the DOJ considers that ruling to be very bad law that it would like to be overturned. So that appeal may continue in some form. But the reality is that Donald Trump is not going to be a part of these cases. And what this means, I mean, we knew this, right? But just coming to grips with what this means intellectually is that Donald Trump is not likely to be held accountable on these very serious federal criminal charges that many people believe were worse than what Richard Nixon did or was accused of doing in Watergate. Now, there's no guarantee that Donald Trump would have been convicted at trial, but as Joyce Vance, our legal commentator, said to me this morning, what's not going to happen is he's not going to face a jury of his peers who would evaluate the evidence and render a verdict.
Yeah, you see, this is why I'm not feeling like Trump should be magnanimous. And I think that was almost the problem, is like he got into office last time and he was sort of like, I'm just going to let it all go. Like first when he was running, he was like, lock her up. And then he was like, I'm going to let it all go. And then what they did when they got power is they let nothing go and they went after him for 4 years. And I just don't want Trump to forget that. I really do want him to recognize what has happened and to realize that that threat is not going to go away from the American people. He has to go after these corrupt people. He just absolutely must go after them with the same exact energy that they came after him with. We're happy. Trump survived all of this. I mean, he's a legend. There's no other way to put it. He survived the smears, the libels, the Me Too cases from the 90s, the 80s, the 2 assassination attempts. So yeah, he deserved the speech and he deserved to win this, and we deserved to celebrate his win. And here he was, just a little snippet of his acceptance speech last night.
Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it, because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Look, Donald Trump is your president. Cry harder, liberals. And you did a lot of crying. We're going to get into that. We're going to just take a trip down memory lane, plus look at some celebrity tweets since he's been elected. But first, I want to tell you guys about Beam, because for weeks we have been caught in the election chaos, the tension, the endless debates, the commercials, the news cycles that seem to get louder and more frantic every day. Thanks to my friends over at Beam, sleep is no longer just a way to escape. It's a gift. In this fast-paced world, we often overlook the power of a good night's sleep, but sleep is our foundation. It fuels our energy, sharpens our minds, and keeps us ready to tackle the challenges of the day. That's where Beam Dream comes in. This isn't just another supplement. It's a game changer formulated with natural ingredients. It will help you drift into a peaceful sleep so that you wake up refreshed and ready to seize the day without the grogginess of all the other sleep medications. Right now, Beam is offering my listeners exclusively early access to their Black Friday sale. This is their biggest sale of the year, and my listeners can shop it early before anyone else. You'll get up to 50% off when you visit shopbeam.com/Candace, and you can use code Candace at checkout. You've been hearing me rave about Dream. This is your chance to try it for the lowest price of the year. So go ahead and shop beam.com/Candace. Enter code Candace and unlock your early access. That's shopbeam.com/Candace and use code Candace for up to 50% off. All right, so do you know what my favorite part of everything is? It's the referendum on celebrities. It's done. It's over. It is done. Hollywood is done. America now recognizes that all that glitter ain't gold. Hollywood just straight up lost their appeal. And I think they're shocked. I think they're genuinely coming to terms with it. Like, they have just been so A-list, so loved, so adored that they never saw this. They can't even comprehend it. They cannot come to grips with this new reality. Generally speaking, I think the American people all over the world now recognize that these people are either unhinged, unhappy, or uneducated. That's it. Unhinged, unhappy, or uneducated. And they went all in on celebs for Kamala because, again, she didn't run a campaign, right? She wasn't qualified. So they said, you know what? Just get the celebrities to come out and people will listen to them because they believe, and when I say they, I'm talking about the deep state, that the majority of Americans are uneducated. So they're just like, it doesn't really matter. We've trained them to worship these stars and they'll do what they say. I'm talking everybody came out. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's always so strange. Like, he's speaking about climate change. This man is always on a yacht with 23-year-olds. You had, of course, notoriously, and I loved this for her so much, Taylor Swift, because I just find her to be so arrogant and so pompous. And she had the sweeping cat endorsement, love a childless cat lady. Yeah, America said no to childless cat ladies, Taylor Swift. We did. And I get that you were on a high, like you always are, because you're in that new relationship high and you're kind of always in a new relationship and you were coming off of your tour and people do love you as an artist and the music that you make. So you're just thinking, how could I lose? Like, everyone's rooting for me and Travis Kelce to get married. So all I have to do is tell them how to vote and they'll accept it. And they didn't accept it. They said no to you, Taylor Swift. Please come down from your high horse. No one actually cares what you think politically because you don't live a real reality. Okay, you're jetting back and forth. It's like no one can even relate to these things. What they want from you is for you to break up with Travis Kelce and drop a next album so we can bop to the tunes. That's what we want from you, Taylor Swift. Just listen to me, okay? That's it. Not your cat and telling us to vote for Kamala Harris because you're scared about something and you want to be a childless cat lady. I don't even know what the vibe was, but we said no. And of course, we had Megan Thee Stallion shaking her booty for Kamala because this is for the black people. Now you know what you gotta do. Shake your butts for Kamala. Let's watch that.
What's up, honey? This is your girl, Megan Thee Stallion, aka the Hot Girl Coach, reporting live with the future president of the United States. Everybody, what do you have to say to the American people?
We are not going back.
That is just so embarrassing. Then you had, of course, J-Lo, who brought the tears. Give it to us, J-Lo.
I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional. But you know
but
what?
you are. What?
You know what?
What?
We should be emotional.
Should we?
We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters. And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around you to be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but trust me, I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing, okay? A non-vote is an agreement. It just makes it easier for them to do whatever they want, whatever serves them. And this election is about your life. It's about you and me and my kids and your kids. Don't make it easy. Make them pay attention to you. That's your power. That's your power. Your vote is your power.
I mean, she acts like she sings. She's always just been a C-. You know what I mean? That's just like poor acting. It's like the J-Lo rom-com flick that's just like in the background that you're watching. You're happy to watch it, but it's not particularly good. It's not going to win any awards. Like, that's that, right? I promised I wasn't going to get emotional. But we should get emotional. We should care about our future. And I feel like that's always her expressions in every movie and the way she sounds in every movie when she's trying to deliver things. And it just feels fake. And she did it because she had to do it because, you know, Diddy and her got into a little bit of trouble, at least according to Kanye. And then, of course, who could forget I personally, my favorite was Cardi, just like realizing she had no thoughts and needed the teleprompter. We'll just watch the beginning of this. Take a listen.
What's up, Milwaukee? How you guys doing? I'm nervous. I'm excited. What's up, y'all?
Just buying herself time here.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
Up? What's up? I mean, that's just like, it's bad. That's like, we come out of this like, that is just bad. It's so bad. It's so obvious. I'm glad she did it. And she has been the most vocal about Kamala since she spoke out then. By the way, she looks lovely. I wish Cardi B would dress like that more. I think she looks very lovely and very classy. But anyways, everything she said was something that was clearly being written for her, which is why she couldn't riff her. She couldn't say anything from the heart. And it got sluttier after that. That's really the only way to say it. It got sluttier after that in the form of Sexy Red, who came and told us in a tweet that she was voting for Kamala for president because she doesn't want people to tell us what to do with her coochie. And I feel like that was the most honest endorsement that Kamala ever got. Like, that was like, by the way, of everyone who I think woke up and might have a little bit of egg on their face, Sexy Red is not one of them. Zero shame. She said what she meant. And like, I just feel like she has zero shame in her life. Then we had Eminem endorsing Kamala. I mean, they went full bore. Eminem. Usher came out. Let's watch Usher, who came out in support of Kamala.
We all know what it means to be supportive, but ladies and gentlemen, we are here to support the next president of the United States. Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen.
And I just wonder, for people that are Democrats, maybe you're watching the show, maybe you're like, you know what, let me hear a different perspective today. You're probably not. You're probably licking your wounds. But if you are actually watching the show and you are a Democrat, how does that not insult you? Like, that level of A-list celebrity, how does that not seem to you like they're hiring actors and entertainers, and that they just are thinking, if we can entertain you, you won't think about the policies? Like, at a certain level, that much has to be insulting to you. I hope it's insulting to you, because I would be insulted by that. I want to hear somebody's ideas. I don't need to hear them bringing out every A-lister in the entire world, from Beyonce. We didn't even bring up Beyonce, who also came out and gave 3 minutes, and it felt like all of them were doing this because they were completely forced. I want Democrats to be better than this. I genuinely, there's a part of me that feels compassionate toward the other side, because I'm going, how can you be convinced by that? How do J-Lo fake tears that we see in every single one of her rom-coms make you think that she's being honest and actually move you to action? You have to be more intellectual than that. You need to be more emotionally sober than that. Forget intellect. You need to be more emotionally sober, not having your emotions so easily swayed because you like someone's music. Who cares? Who cares? Why is Usher authorized to tell you anything? Eminem? This is literally a guy that wrote album after album about how he wanted to kill his baby mama. Like what authorized him, like, you know, cleaning out the closet with his mom? What authorized him to tell you how to vote? What is it about Eminem's life that you went, well, yeah, I'm going to vote for Kamala because Eminem says so? Like, what is impressive about these people outside of the music or the art that they produce that you believe gives them the authority to tell you how to vote? Like, what makes you think that Cardi B is an expert on the economy? What makes you think that LeBron James is suddenly able to speak to you guys about policy? What does he give off? I'm just genuinely curious. I want to get to know you guys better, okay? And it's been very interesting when I go back to saying how we now realize they're all unhinged or uneducated or popping pills, to see that they all do the same thing after they lose. It's like they draft in their kids for propaganda. It's very embarrassing. It's like they're suddenly like, they all say like, oh, my kid's crying, like my child is crying, my daughter's crying. They always use the daughter too, because they feel like if they say their son's crying, it won't be, they can't sell it. They're like, my daughter doesn't know what's going to happen with the future. We saw this when Hillary Clinton lost. Christina Applegate, I want you to take a look. So she's an actress, and I want you to take a look at what she tweeted. She was having a full-blown meltdown, but this tweet really stood out to me because it's so monstrous. She wrote, "Why? Give me your reasons why. My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away. Why? And if you disagree, please unfollow me." So I want to be clear. The reason she says my child is because it's literally a child. She's not a woman. She has a daughter that is 13 years old, which means it is plausible that her daughter has not even gone through puberty. And yet your daughter is sobbing over the prospect that if she does go to puberty and she does become sexually active and she does somehow get pregnant, that she may not have the opportunity to decide whether or not she wants to rip her offspring limb for limb. Like, are you, that is like and I literally tweeted back her, I said, Christina, if your daughter is sobbing over this at the age of 13, when I was 13, I was coordinating dances with my friends, you know, like I was going to a park, playing basketball. I was cool thing to do. All right, can you guys hear me? I think that our audio just went out. I'm not sure why that happened. Maybe, oh wow, just see that we have 95,000 people watching. But going back to Christina Applegate, like when I see that situation and I see her writing that, and I'm thinking of my life and me at 13 and braces and getting together with my friends and trying to change the color of my braces, trying to match my friends, right? And you're telling me your daughter is concerned about the prospect, your 13-year-old, your precious little 13-year-old is more concerned and sobbing her eyes out, considering the prospect that if she goes, when she finishes puberty, and if she becomes sexually active, and if she accidentally gets pregnant, that she won't be able to rip her child limb from limb. Like, that's what Christina Applegate's tweet says, and it's disgusting. And I told her, if that truly is what your daughter is sobbing about, your 13-year-old daughter is sobbing about abortion, you have failed as a parent. You are not well. You are completely unhinged, because that means that you sat down and you told your daughter about this. You communicated this to your daughter and you told her that this was the most essential thing for her to care about as a 13-year-old girl, as opposed to her enjoying her youth. You told her you need to worry about whether or not you can reach into your own womb and kill your child. Christina Applegate, you disgust me. Truly, like you truly disgust me. I was disgusted by the tweet. We're seeing these meltdowns happen over and over again. Similarly, by the way, LeBron dropped it in his daughter. They always do this. It's like, I'm just going to say, like, I'm worried about my child. Like, he posted a photo. I don't know if you guys have the tweet. Yeah, here's a photo he posted on Instagram. Heavy on my heart and mind this AM, my princess. Promise to protect you with everything I have and more. We don't need their help. I'd love to know who there is. Who knows what they're talking about? Republicans? Is he speaking about white people generally? He seems to kind of hate white people. I generally don't understand why any white people in this country support this man after BLM season and the stuff that he has said. But who's he talking about doesn't matter. What are you concerned about for your daughter? What are you worth? Like a cool $100 million? I think he quite literally lives in a $125 million house in Beverly Hills. And what is he worried about? Well, your kids are good. Your kids are so good that your son Bronny doesn't even deserve to be on the Lakers, but he's on the Lakers because you use a little bit of nepotism to get him there. Like, your kids are so good, they don't even have to meet the talent level of the NBA to get into the NBA. Like, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. But he wants to think that, like, his daughter is somehow at risk because Trump is president. Yeah, she's at risk of going into a girl's bathroom and just seeing young women and not seeing men that are confused because society wants to confuse them. She's actually probably being rendered a lot safer because of a Trump presidency. But I can't imagine her getting safer than a Bel Air mansion. But if she needs a little more safety, she can trust that Donald Trump will provide it by securing the border. So you'll be totally okay. And then Cenk, who was so certain that Trump was a dictator and Hitler, he still believes these things, back at the Young Turks, he is now having a meltdown and screaming at his own party. So you can take a listen to Cenk losing his mind.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. They're servants of the donor class. So they go in there like, oh, donor, give me money, please. And I made an ad. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy. Okay, well, what did that get you? And they say, oh, Jake, you're too angry. Too angry? What? You think, does Donald Trump look like he's kind? Does he look like he's in a good mood? I mean, no, people want some sort of reaction from their politicians. They want them to represent them, to fight for them. But that has never occurred to a Democrat outside of Bernie Sanders, and probably we never will. So look, I have no interest in listening to a single Democratic politician ever again. They can go kiss my ass, they can do whatever they want, and we never listen to them anyway, and they hate us because we're right and they're wrong. They're always wrong, and they hate us for being right.
I wish Cenk well. I asked him last night when we were on that panel, I said, after seeing this response, seeing Trump win so handily, seeing us take the Senate, do you think that you were wrong about anything? And he thought about it for a split second and said, no, he's right about everything. And I just think he is a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat in that way, that they just look at the way things happen and they go, what we actually just need is more oppression. We need more oppression. We need to oppress opinions. We need to start speaking about how we are going to get Spotify under control. We can't have these independent voices that are becoming successful. How we're going to get YouTube under control, how we're going to demonetize, how we're going to put together policies, how we're going to use, whether it's the EU over in Europe, how we are going to just suppress speech. And I don't think that's going to be a plausibility for them under this presidency. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you about American financing because the economy has been a major burden on the average American. Wages are flat, expenses are up, and it is very hard to manage to pay all the bills without using credit cards. So if you're a homeowner and you're frustrated with that cycle, I need you to make a 10-minute, no-obligation phone call today to my friends at American Financing because interest rates are finally coming down and they're now in the low 5s. If you're constantly carrying a credit card balance each and every month with a rate in the 20s, American Financing can show you how to put your hard-earned equity to work and get you out of debt. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving their customers an average of $800 a month. And if you get started today, you may not even have to make next month's mortgage payment. So call today at 800-795-1210. That's 800-795-1210. Or you can visit americanfinancing.net/Owens. That's americanfinancing.net/Owens. By the way, I should tell you guys this. Regarding celebrity tiers, obviously we instantly produced a mug because we deserve it. We absolutely deserve it. We are selling celebrity tier mugs. We have got Donald Trump on there. It says 47 thumbs up. And there we have J-Lo crying. We have LeBron crying. We have Cardi B crying. And I hope that they're all going to be okay because they are unbelievably wealthy. This country has been amazing to them. They are just completely out of touch elitists, especially LeBron. I just love this. And if you buy this mug, like it will keep your beverages cold. It will keep your beverages hot. And it is just something that reminds us of the fact that we just said no to Hollywood. I am so happy that America is saying no to Hollywood. I just want to be a fly on the wall and hear Taylor Swift grappling with this. How could I have sold out tours everywhere and people are not listening to me because they just want you to sing about your breakups, Tay? That's all we want from you, Tay Tay. Sing about your very many breakups until you really are a childless cat lady, and that's something that you seem to be embracing, and that's absolutely fine. No hate your way. But for America, it's about our families. It's about wanting to keep the gas prices low, wanting them to return to being $1.30, which they were under Trump, wanting us to be able to afford groceries. I mean, people are literally paycheck to paycheck. It's incredible how out of touch they are. They don't realize what taxes are doing to them. They don't realize how hard it is, by the way, for people to even break into the markets. I'm talking about entrepreneurialism, all of the regulations. The environment is not friendly for small business owners. That's why I just saw that it was being floated that Thomas Massey maybe tapped into the cabinet for the agricultural position. And that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's even the farmers, the ranchers, everybody in America is suffering. You guys can't see it because you live in Los Angeles, you live in Beverly Hills, because you live in mansions, and you are just, I genuinely want you to get in touch, because if you were in touch, you would shut up. If you were in touch, you would go, my gosh, I don't deserve any of this. All I do is read lines and say basic things. Who am I to lecture these people who work with their hands every day? Who am I to lecture these people who work the hours that they work, the truck drivers, so that I can enjoy the life that I have? They don't even know where their stuff comes from. No, genuinely, people like LeBron James and Christina Applegate, these people think that their food grows in a grocery store. They think their food grows in Whole Foods. They thank Jeff Bezos for their food. That's what they do. At night, they pray and they thank Jeff Bezos for their food and the Amazon lords for their food. Truly, I believe that. I think that they don't even understand. They don't comprehend how anything in the world works because they've never worked a single day with their hands. They don't. And so they just dismiss everybody as a racist. Everybody's a racist. Everyone's a racist. It's sexist. It's because she's a woman, not because she's an idiot. You know, it's because she's a woman of color, not because she didn't deserve it and she didn't work for it. Or because people are insulted by the idea that you keep thinking that you can throw celebrities in our face and we're going to respond to it. We're tired of it. And so it's going to be interesting now, guys. It's going to be really interesting because going into the next election, the game has changed. They now see this no longer works. So what do they do? What do they do? The celebrities don't work. The Taylor Swifts don't work. The Beyoncés don't work. They're not listening to Usher. My goodness, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. They're not listening to Eminem. Yeah, it's so weird. Slim Shady, yeah, they're not listening to him. LeBron, he puts up so many points every game. Why are they not listening to him? What is going to be the Democratic strategy? That's my question. What is going to be the Democratic strategy heading into 2028? And yes, we already do have to start thinking about 2028. And I am just hopeful that Trump does not let us down. You know, I hope that his campaign has not been infiltrated by neocons. It is a mild fear that I have that the war class has infiltrated his campaign. I hope that he just gives them all hell, goes straight back to America first, defends the borders, works with the people that we trust that are in fact America first, people like Thomas Massie, and just continues to be a royal pain in these people's asses, because that's what he is. Donald Trump is imagine you're like, we tried to assassinate this man twice. How is he still here? It's an onslaught of Me Too cases. We took out Gloria Allred. How is this man still here? Every case that he has been through, he has survived it. And so I'm proud of him, and I'm hopeful, and I hope that he keeps that exact same energy for these next couple of years, 4 years, and puts us in a better place than we certainly are in right now. All right, guys, I'm going to read some of your comments, see what you guys are thinking about everything that's happening right now. What do we have going on? Meggie writes, we must remember to keep sharing good values and truth and work even harder now. Evil will never relent, so we can't let this victory reduce our commitment and vigilance. Thank you, Candace, for your work. I completely agree with that, Maggie. So well said. Alaska Dog Lady writes, I would take a tax hike to pay the salary of the press secretary, Alex Jones. BTW, I'm one of the hordes of lifelong Dems who left the left in the last 4 years. Proud garbage now. Christ is king. I love hearing that. So many Dems left. My sisters left. They were so happy that Trump won. And when I first got into politics, they were like, what are you doing? Going to another one of your Klansman rallies? My sisters and me, we just joke with each other all the time. We make fun of each other. We're not one of those families that were like, I'm never talking to you over politics again. But, they saw what was happening. And my sisters were like, we're not comfortable sending our kids to school because there's very clearly a rainbow agenda. Why are they speaking to our little kids about this? So there are so many people that are just like you that felt the exact same way. And so we are very happy to have you. And I want to be very clear about Alex Jones. I will crawl over broken glass and give him everything I earn. If all he needs is someone to pay the salary, leave it to me. Leave it to me. I'll get a second job to pay whatever salary he wants to be the press secretary. If he's like, I'm gonna need $500,000 a year, leave it to me. Like I said, I will pick up a job and I will raise the money. It'll be totally fine. If we get Alex Jones, we are not worthy. We are not worthy. But Trump, please, it would be the greatest troll. And by the way, he is more than equipped for it. He has run a show for decades. All he does is talk and answer and respond to questions. He is totally equipped for it, and they hate him. The deep state hates Alex Jones with a vengeance. Sarah writes, Kamala Harris is now working at a call center in India, if you were all wondering. I really thought in that last concession speech, I was like, is Kamala Harris going to drop, finally, an Indian accent? Because she's done them all. And I thought maybe now she's going to drop an Indian accent. And she didn't do it, actually. She went to her normal speaking voice that she's had, since she's had a public platform. She was just herself. So I am going to miss the accents. I'm going to miss the genealogical research. I had done so much over the weekend that now I'm not going to present because nobody cares about her genealogy anymore. Give me somebody's genealogy to look into, guys. I'm not good right now. I don't know who I am outside of Kamala Harris's family research. Pamela writes, I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. and instantly checked my phone. When I saw the results, I cried because my children might actually have a shot at the American dream. I am unbelievably proud of my country. Yes, it was one of those moments where, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, me and my husband were having conversations like, if she gets in again, what are we gonna do? I think everyone had that conversation, like, what can we possibly do? So your conversations probably were apocalyptic, like, can we all move in together in the middle of nowhere and live off of the land and survive? Or you're thinking, what country would we leave to? And our mindset was all over the place. Like, do we move further into the country? Do we try to run while we still can? Like, that was my true understanding of who Comrade Kamala was. You know, I was understanding that she was a communist, and if the world wasn't going to see it and they were going to put her in office over a couple of celebrity endorsements, then it was going to have to be like survival of the fittest sort of a situation. And so to have that immediately absolved when Trump won, I genuinely just feel lighter today. I'm just so happy, truly so happy. Going to read more of your comments. Just want to remind you guys about Pure Talk, because it is very important to think about what charities and causes and the brands that you give your money to support, which is why I love supporting my cell phone company at Pure Talk, at a veteran-led company. Supporting veterans is their passion project, and that's why Pure Talk has alleviated $10 million in veteran debt. That's why they donate tens of thousands of dollars every month to help prevent veteran suicide. And that's why they just donated $50,000 to Micro Works, providing scholarships to veterans learning the trades after active military duty. It's time to jump ship from Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. There's a better option. Pure Talk gives you the same great coverage, America's most dependable 5G network, for half the cost, and you'll be helping our vets. It's a win-win. So go to puretalk.com/Owens today and switch to a company that invests in American jobs to better serve you. Again, you can go to puretalk.com/Owens, and you will save an additional 50% off your first month. That's Pure Talk, America's wireless company. All right, jumping back into this, Sarah says, guys, it is coming. Everything is fake and gay merch. I promise we are going to drop a fake and gay line, because it is just the reality of the circumstances that we are in right now as a country. We all know what it means, where it's like 90s gay, everything is fake and gay, and it is coming. It is absolutely coming. I would expect it around this month, because we're going to do a lot of fun stuff for Black Friday, including Manect. If you guys are on the Manect app and you're sending me messages, we're going to do some fun things there as well. Doge writes, great job on your expose on Kamala. Thank you. It's bittersweet. This ending is bittersweet. It really is. Kane writes, don't you realize that's why they busted Diddy? It was to get them to back her. That's interesting. Could be, but I think Diddy truly got busted because of that lawsuit. I don't know that they could have held that off much longer, because when I read that lawsuit, I was like, yeah, Diddy's definitely going to prison. But it is true that they likely used whatever Diddy had to get even more celebrities in check than had ever been before, because I saw people speaking out that I'd never even seen speak out before. It was totally weird and wacky. Maynard writes, I've been watching you from Canada every day for a year now. Thank you for being yourself and all the hard work that you do. I love you, and God bless you. Love you back. Like Kamala says, I'm going to miss that too. I'm going to miss her Latina accent. I'm going to miss Bitty Bitty Bom Bom. I'm going to miss the black church pastor. I don't know. I don't know, guys, if we have ruined our own entertainment for the next 4 years. I don't know. I need time to think about it. X Smokes writes, Candace, you should be Trump's press secretary. Look, I would be very good at that job, but come on, Alex Jones, like there could be no one better suited for that job that would make us happier. We would be watching press briefings every single day like it was Game of Thrones. Like we'd just be in seasons of Game of Thrones watching Alex Jones respond to the press. So that is my vote. You guys, thank you so much for being on this journey with us. It's just been the most amazing thing. Again, like the Kamala Chronicles, 42 million downloads is crazy. This is a new podcast. We're a very small team. We're so grateful to you guys that are supporting us on Locals, buying the merch, buying everything. It allows us to do what we do. We promise to stay true and independent, and we will hold Republicans' feet to the fire. Like immediately going into this, we are not going to be people that are just like, everything Trump does is great. No, you are in there. We got you in there. Let's do a job. Let's make sure that you actually drain the swamp like you have promised that you are going to do. We feel vindicated. We feel that he got justice. We feel that 2020 was stolen from him. And we feel great about the future. The future does look bright indeed, like PBD said last night. So we will see you guys tomorrow.